Her one more time.
Greetings. Introducing Voices of Festival, brand new podcast series from the International African Arts Festival, created to keep you connected as we count down to our 55th year of culture, creativity, and community. Each week, hear directly from the artists, dancers, musicians, vendors, and community members who make this festival an unforgettable experience. Tune in every Thursday at 8 p.m. on YouTube for Voices of Festival. Celebrate the culture, feel the rhythm, be part of the journey.
Blessed, blessed, blessed everyone. I know he said, okay, this guy is back. Yes, I'm back. Baba Adeyemi had some family transition, so he's kind of caught up with that. We're going to send him our love, send him our heartfelt, warm wishes, and wish him well, and him and his family well. He's part of our family also. But tonight, I'm standing for Baba Adeyemi, and you guys already know Sakina and Ziga Kennard.
Peace, everyone.
And
pleasure to be here.
We have a special guest tonight. Everybody knows who she is, so we don't have to even go into her long bio and resume. But the Queen will be here shortly. But in the meantime, I want to give a shout out to everybody that's listening, all of our live followers. Hey, Sabrina, big up, big up. I know you listening, Baba Segun. Big up my mom's ear. I love you. big up my Revolution family. As you can see, I got all my Revolution gear on today. Super Dandy, Big Blacks, Marlon Blacker. Shout out to all of the board, all the committee members, Chumani, brothers doing some fabulous work for festival. Shout out to Omari. Shout out to Mama B. Shout out to Deborah. Shout out to Baba Adeyemi. Baba Segun. We can't forget the chairman. So shout out to the festival family because we are in festival season. It's a drive for 55. I think, Sakina, we're 23 days, 22 days away?
Yes, we are.
So we are making it happen, and that's why we have the Queen here today. So without any further ado, Sakina, please do your thing.
Yes, thank you, Beware. It's a pleasure to have you on and your energy with Revolution Sound and Carib Life Media. We give praise for your presence and thank you for being the vehicle, the driver of this vehicle, right? So peace to everyone. Thank you for joining us. We do have a wonderful show lined up. We're just waiting for our guests to come on. And while we do that, I will begin to pour a libation to honor our ancestors, honor the ones that come before us, the ones whose name we call. So I say the term Ibaye Bayantanu, which means we give honor and we give praise. We give honor and we give praise to our community leaders, our freedom fighters, the ones whose shoulders we stand upon. To continue their work, to continue this legacy of the International African Arts Festival. So I will call their names. Ibaye Baba Rabo Juma Tatu, Ibaye Mama Amanisha, Ibaye Mama Ladi, Ibaye Mama Bird, Ibaye Mama Koumba, Ibaye Honorable Baba Tunde Akowe, Ibaye Brother Abu Badika, Ibaye Sister Asada Shakur, Ibaye Brother G2 Wayusi, Ibaye Brother MZ Moyo, Ibaye Brother Stan Kennard, Ibaye Salima Moyo Smith, Ibaye Onipa Obuzia, Ibaye Nana Kweku Owosu Aboje, Ibaye Imam Jamil Amin, aka H. Rap Brown, Ibaye Sister Viola Plummer, Ibaye Brother Litana Egungun, Ibaye Brother Hugh Masakela, Ibaye Brother Kujat Bandélé, Ibaye Sister Nisa Van Zant, Ibaye Sister Jamia Van Zant, Ibaye Brother Bob Law, Ibaye Sister Mantu Law, Ibaye Bernard Kinsey, Ibaye Victoria Santa Cruz, Ibaye, Mama Sandra Hay, Ibaye, Malcolm X, Ibaye, Mama Stephanie Weaver, Ibaye Baba Lloyd Weaver, Ibaye Baba Alafia Shango Deyi, Ibaye Baba Alfred, Ibaye Baba Chief Bay, Ibaye Baba Alukashe Wali, Ibaye Mama Abimbola, Ibaye Baba Heru, Ibaye Baba Paua, Ibaye Baba Abu Bakar, Ibaye Nana Kweyao Aji Apom, Ibaye Baba Canute Bernard Jr., Ibaye Danny Mixon, Ibaye Marie Toussaint, Ibaye brother Randy Weston, Ibaye Baba Ishangi,
Ashe.
Ibaye, uh, Yusuf Iman, Ibaye Dara Iman, Ibaye, uh, Baba Michael Olatunji, Ibaye, Brother John Hicks, Ibaye, Brother Atiba Cord, Ibaye, Brother Al Van, Ibaye, Sister Jeanette Gatson, Ibaye, Brother Sam Penn, Ibaye, Sunra, Ibaye, Hezekiah Walter, Ibaye,
Ashe.
Freddie Hubbard, Ibaye to all those Egon, those ancestors that walk with us, that guide us, that protect us, that let us know that they are forever present in our lives. We give honor and we give praise to them, and we thank them for their contributions, and we ask for guidance moving forward as we are continuing their
Ashe.
legacy. Thank you. Ashe.
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 And just to give our viewers just a little insight to what just happened, right? As African people, part of who we are, and this is especially for our younger viewers, I really want you to listen to this piece. This is important because part of who we are as African people is that we paid homage, we honored, and we showed our respects to those who came before us. Give an example. In America, they have a thing called Lincoln Day, Lincoln birthday, Washington birthday, Memorial Day. You may go down to DC and you may see a picture of a big statue of George Washington, or you may see a big statue of Abraham Lincoln at the Lincoln Memorial, right? All of those things is how America or the Western culture, European, aka white people, how they honor their ancestors. They're giving us the example. But for us, as African descendants, we have to keep that in mind. We have to have that in the forefront of our mind to honor those who came before us. Well, why, Beware? Why do we have to do that, right? Let me tell you why. Because if it wasn't for them, it would be no us. Shakina, am I wrong? Help me out here. Okay, Shakina's frozen right now, so I'm going to talk, right? Because if it wasn't for them, there would be no us. So this sister, this mother, this great mother that we bring on, I've had the opportunity and the beautiful blessing to be able to be in her presence, to know who she is. And I'm excited about bringing her on. So we're going to bring her on shortly. But in the meantime, I want to tap into some of the things that are very important. Sakina, we have festival coming up. This is our 55th year.
Yes, we do. We're here. We're here.
Give it to our man. What's good? Talk to me.
So yes, we I hope everyone has been visiting the website iaafestival.org. We will be at a new location, Lincoln Terrace Park in Brooklyn, from July 3rd through the 5th. So if you don't know where Lincoln Terrace Park is, it's right off the Eastern Parkway, a couple of blocks past Utica, off of Rochester. We're gonna be there, right? So if you need to get your vendor spots, get your vendor spots because it's going, and no, the space is not as big as Commodore Barry Park. So you want to reserve your spot now. The office is open on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from the time 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. So you can call Brother Charles Asukile and reserve your spot. And also go on the website iaafestival.org where you can download the vendor application. And so you can also follow us if you want to be entertained on social media at IAA Festival. Just at IAA Festival. That's on Facebook and on social media. Social media, Instagram, right? That's our social media vehicles. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Okay?
Like and share. Like right now. I'm not seeing too many likes right now, Sakina. So if you guys don't get these likes up, I'm not bringing the queen on stage. Like, we're gonna bring the queen out here, all right? But in the
Right.
meantime, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. We're gonna give them 2 minutes. But before we get into that, Sakina, they probably say, "Who is this dude?" Yo, let me just tell you why. You guys see every week festival babies that come on the show who are now performing. They're working on the committee. They are working on the programming. They're in some type of capacity. They're working on festival. Well,
Mm-hmm.
that's the same thing for me. I'm a festival baby. I grew up at the African Street Festival. I lived in Jackie Robinson Projects, which is right across the street from Boys and Girls High. So
Mm-hmm.
festival for us, we look forward to that every year. And guess what? This is where I first met Queen Afua. I was a little kid. I mean, she could probably tell you more. I wonder if she can remember that. But it's been so long ago. I like the likes. I see the likes moving. Sakina, you ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready. Let's go. With no further ado, matter of fact, I'll let you do it. I'll be quiet. Let's go.
Oh, we're introducing. She ready? She on? She on? Okay. So, no further ado, we are introducing Queen Afua. She has 40 years of experience as a holistic health expert and wellness coach.
Yes.
She's a pioneer in the green foods movement. Queen Afua is the author of 6 best-selling books and the creator of the Heal Thyself product line. She is the founder of the Queen Afua Wellness Institute and the mother of Womb Wellness. She has devoted her life to fighting diseases by teaching people how to understand and utilize the power of food, self-care, and holistic healthy choices as an empowering lifestyle. Queen Afua has inspired 1 million women, men, and children throughout the United States, Canada, the Caribbean, Africa, Europe, and with her workshops, her books, products, and presentations. So without further ado, we are introducing Madam Queen.
The one and only. Please, ladies and gentlemen, stand up and rise up for the queen herself. This is Queen Afua, our elder, our mentor, our teacher. She loves on us and she's going to love on us tonight. Are you ready? Here we go. Give me some applause.
Whoa. The work it took to get here.
Yes, peace, Queen. Peace, peace, peace. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. So you're the babies, huh?
We are the babies.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are festival babies.
Wow.
We were born in festival, grew up with festival, and now we're working to move festival to the next level.
Next generation.
Exactly.
Yes, we are the next generation. And you know, for festival being in its 55th year, there are 5 generations that currently attend festival. So I wanted to start off just asking, really, how has festival influenced you, your purpose, and your artistic cultural expression?
Festival. I believe I was at almost the first festival when it was on
Nice.
10 Flavor Place.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it was a street party, and it also was a school, a cultural center, right
Mm-hmm.
in the center of the block on Claver, off of
Uhuru
14th Street.
Sasa, yes.
Yeah, Hurusasa traveled, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I raised my children in Hurusasa as well. And I remember I also heard the Creator has a master plan at Hurusasa. And that song stayed with me from then to now. It was 1969. Pharaoh
Nice.
Sciences, I believe, performed there. And every year I came to the festival. It was the way. It was automatic. It was a family reunion
Mm-hmm.
of different spiritual houses and um, different walks of life and art and our culture, literally. So this is how we all was able to see how we're growing, what we're doing now, where are we, you know? And so this was just like going to your own personal family. This was our community family gathering, and we
Mm-hmm.
empowered each other, and we heard our music and our dance and our art and our food and festival. I raised my children in festival
Shay.
from the time they were babies. I was raised in festival.
Shay.
You know, as a teenager, I started festival when I was 16.
Mm.
I got on my
Nice.
bike. I still on my bike, and I rode down to festivals. And I give homage to festival because
So
it has strengthened me. That's what it has done for me.
now, Queen, how did you hear about festival? How did you hear about um the events at Claver Place? Like, where were you in your life at that time?
Well, I became a vegetarian
Mm,
at that time, and there was a food co-op right at the corner, and I loved the food co-op.
mm,
I loved the people, I loved the vibe, and I saw a flyer
Mm.
at the school was having a festival,
mm-hmm,
and that was it was automatic. You're gonna come because you look where you're gonna find community like us. We were scattered. We
mm-hmm,
went to all the boroughs. People travel from Philly, they travel from Washington, but there was Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, the Bronx. Some people flew in. So for me, festival was my root, but food as medicine was my root.
Shay.
And I
mm-hmm,
changed my life at that time into a holistic living because I was extremely sick. So
mm,
festival represent to me wellness. It represented me healing
Queen.
because healing is culture and our spiritual practices coming together. So I
mm-hmm,
started that way, you know, as I was healing myself, I was looking for myself, I was looking for the drums,
mm-hmm.
music, I was looking for the dance, I was looking for my way, and festival gave me that way.
Shay.
Mm.
You said something that sparked something. You said that you became vegan, right?
Yeah.
Now, for
Well, vegan just came up 20 years ago.
okay,
Vegetarian.
Back then it was vegetarian. As long as you didn't
Mhm.
eat meat, you know.
and I want to tap into that because a lot of our followers or people that are viewing this, they may say, "Well, I'm not a vegan. This is not for me," or I'm a meat eater. I want you to explain to our viewers why did you turn vegan, and what have been the health benefits for you, so that our listeners will understand why this is a good thing for them if they choose to go this direction.
Well, I was a very sick child from 13 up to 16. And I was taking medication for my chronic asthma, and it wasn't getting any better. And the doctor told my mother I should live in a glass house because I'm allergic to everything. So they had no answers for me.
Mm.
And so I went on a 3-day retreat from Harlem. I was introduced at Aquarius on 125th and 7th Avenue. So Harlem, and there was a lifestyle that was up there. It was a library, literally a library that people studied and researched and connected to culture. So it was from Harlem to Brooklyn. Those two streams
Mm.
brought me up and raised me up. So I knew where I was to go. So because I was sick, I went on a 3-day retreat based on what I learned in Harlem. I went on that retreat, the asthma, the allergies, the hay fever, the PMS, the arthritis, the sleep app. I had everything. And so that's why I would go, my base became that vegetarian, that vegan, that food co-op where I could get natural food. That was my medication, was natural food.
Ashe.
That's the only thing that healed me, natural food. And it was right there at festival. So you went from, so the lifestyle, the only way I could find the lifestyle was there. And that was at festival.
Now, I wish Baba Adeyemi was on because he knows the history. That food co-op, they were importing fresh fruits and vegetables from Guyana, I believe,
That's right.
right? That's
Sure.
where Lumumba was going down. So the school had a program where they were like an exchange program where the children were going down to the island, to the farm, and picking these fruits and farming. Literally, they were learning agriculture at that time, and collecting the fruit and packaging it to bring it back up to the U.S. to sell in the food co-op. Like, that is the impact of an independent school that is community controlled. Uhuru Sasa. So shout out to, the Uhuru Sasa alumni.
Me too.
Definitely,
Absolutely. So
and I
that's
think,
how I got that natural food that saved my life.
mhm, that,
Wow, amazing.
I love what you're saying, because our people are addicted to those things that cause death for us. Give an example: McDonald's, Taco Bell, Chipotle, all of these mass-produced, fast GMO. Many of our younger generations, the Z's and the millennials, they're eating this stuff every day, whether it's through Uber delivers or DoorDash or one of these things. I want you to share with our younger viewers, right, why you say my food is my medicine and what that actually means.
Well, everything that you eat has an impact. And so our young people are aging prematurely. They have fibroid tumors in the women. Young women in their 30s are having hysterectomies in their 20s due to the heavy bleeding and the clotting during their menstrual flow. And they don't know what else to do, but it's what they've been eating, and it's eating at us. So the fast food industry has been growing, and we have been feeding the fast food industry of our dollars, our black dollars, and it's feeding us to death. And so we have the highest level. Cheap food and toxic bodies merged together, and we have been growing in disease as the fast food industry is growing in financial abundance. So that is what's happening to us. We're really dying while living. And young people have low energy. They're just as old as some in their 50s and 60s. And they said this generation that the parents will be burying their children. And that's what's happening. So we have to unplug from the toxic fast food and start to grow our own food. So really bringing me back to the festival. Why the festival is so critical, the consciousness, the medicine. We have the medicine. And it's in the garden. That's what you said. It was in Guyana. It was in the garden. And we ate that food. I ate that food. I was a co-op member, and that food saved my life. Got rid of the asthma, the allergies, the hay fever, the shortness of breath. So anyone who's listening to this who have those issues right now, you can let it go. And let us, as we're coming closer to the festival, let us rally around wellness. Let's bring wellness into our home. I have a mission, and the mission is to create a healer in every family and a wellness center in every home. That is my solution to us empowering ourselves holistic. So our homes become our wellness clinic, our homes become our hospital, our homes become our refuge, but we have to go to the garden and have garden food in order for that to happen. Now, some of us working in clusters of families may decide to have small co-ops. But we have to get back to that co-op. Like I'm a member of the Park Slope Co-op, but that's not our co-op. So festival represents self-reliance, self-sustainability, self-transformation, self-healing. We must go forward to that in this generation so that we are viable people once again. So we're addicted. There are basic things that those who may be listening, you might be addicted to, but it's going to cause issues 5-10 years down the line. So we're actually eating our future. So those who are eating a lot of meat, the beef, the pork, the goat, the lamb, baked, fried, or what have you, that is what's causing so much cancer. Cancer of the breast, cancer of the uterus, cancer of the bones. It is polluting our bodies. We're not We're plant-based in our digestive system. We're to eat the vegetables and the fruits and the whole grains and the nuts and the seeds and the sprouts. That is our food. Though there's some that are, and so there's plant-based, you have alternative, and it's cheaper and it's healthier. The beans, the peas, the lentils, the sprouts, those are proteins that we should be taking in as plant-based eaters. Then the sugar is eating away at us. It's addictive. It's a drug. Sugar's a drug. Masquerade, a book called Masquerading as Food. So the sugar is causing arthritis, aches, and pain. People getting knee replacements, young people, and hip replacement because the sugar is eating away at literally the bone, but it's also eating at their emotions. And so you find yourself quick to anger, short patience, domestic violence, the sufferer of or giving it. It's taking large amounts of sugar over the years, and sugar's put in all our foods now.
Yeah.
And you know those grapes, those sweet like jelly grapes, they're putting sugar in the soil. They're making sure that we get that drug as a way of life.
Yeah.
And even seedless food, is no value in it. Real food tastes nothing like seedless. When you have seedless food, you literally are disempowering yourself. One day there'll be no seeds that we can grow anything. We have to start with little plots of land or big plots of land in our backyards, our windowsills, our community gardens. We have to start to grow and keep our seeds, because that's one way of having food slavery. They continue to give us GMO foods, and we have GMO health, which is debilitation. So the sugar, eating a microwave, that's radiation poisoning, which is killing the tissues and the cells. So we're not able to have vitality and energy because there's no life in the food.
Please like, share.
There's so much against us. Everything that you have described,
And I'm going to go, there's so much for us if we can see what's before us.
There is a lot.
You are I'm looking at generations, and you're the next generation that continues to do this work. As babies, you were in your mother's womb before you got here. and because of your parents and conscious of festival mothers and fathers, it impacted you. It impacted my children, and they're adults, and they're in their 40s, and they still connect to festival. So festival to me is a way of eating well, living well, buying from ourselves. They say in our community, our money goes out the first time. In other communities that are viable, the money stays in the community 10 and 12 times. It just keeps rotating. So each group becomes its own bank. But if our money goes in and goes out, that's a sickness. We're depleted financially as a result of that. So the festival represents actually rotating our finance within our community. That's healthy.
Come on.
Health is food. Health is wealth. Health is connected to each other. What are you doing? How are you doing? Whatever you need, it's in our community. To know that and to meet each other at festival is a way to keep the Black dollars rotating. So when you need to have your business invested in, we should be able to come to each other. The banks are not opening to us. That's making us sick too. So it's body, it's mind, it's spirits, it's economics, it's the food. So the stronger we get as a community, the stronger we are. Just to say 55 years, the festival has been in existence and it's still in existence. I think we moved 4 different times, but that didn't stop us. We still look for festival. It'll be a sad day if we look up and there's no festival. What?
And on that note, Queen, I will just plug in how people can sustain this organization, sustain the legacy. We now have a campaign, Drive for 55, celebrating the 55th year of the International African Arts Festival. We are asking people to make a pledge. And I see on the bottom it says the Cash App. We're not doing Cash App anymore. We have Zephy. We have Zephy campaign links to make your donations. You can go to the website, queenafua.org, where you can donate in increments of 55, and you can also make a commitment to become a cultural steward member. A cultural steward member that commits to donating on a consistent basis every month to the International African Arts
Auto,
Festival.
auto pay.
Right? And then you also have text to give. Text to give is very easy, 917-268-1592. But yes, Queen, I am elated with the information that you are giving about health and wellness, and how you can rebalance your body by eating natural food, healthy food, food that is not processed, food that comes from a credible, honorable source. At the food co-op with festival, we were sourcing food from credible sources in terms of farmland in Guyana, where we knew the farmer, where we knew the people there, and we knew that the soil was good. It was not, infiltrated with chemicals and things that would deter our body processes. Because some fruits and vegetables, even here, when you get it, it has the wax coat on the apple, or again, the seeds, the grapes don't have seeds. So it's important. And just like in, the meat industry, they have that, they pump the meat up with all types of chemicals and stuff. And so I think, festival is beautiful because there's so many different kinds of people there that have different beliefs, that have different backgrounds, that have different religious beliefs, and everyone comes together in unison as one. And I love that, we have all of the different religious societies, historical societies that come, and regardless of their belief systems, we all get along because we recognize that we're all family,
Absolutely.
Queen, I want to tap in really quick because you said some things that really sat with me. I hear a lot of sisters talk about fibroids and tumor, heavy cycles, and the premenstrual cramps. And I mean, sisters when they're on that cycle, they could be a completely different person. That's how intense the cramps get. Even in my own personal life, I've had some of my family members and partners have shared with me what they were dealing with. And I experienced the change in their attitudes and their mentality while they were going through the PMS and on their cycle. Now, I know that that's not normal, right? But for many sisters, they talk, think, and believe that this is normal. It's just a part of this, right? So I want you to explain to them how normal, how not normal that is. And if that is their experience, some simple things that they can begin to do themselves to be able to alleviate or to address those womb issues that they may be having.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the things that I recognize is that when the book Sacred Women came out in 2000, it showed that 45% of Black women had fibroid tumors at that time. And now in 2026, 90% of Black women have fibroid tumors. So it has gotten worse. That's why I said the fast food industry has had an impact. And with that, women are going from the pipeline, the fibroid is a pipeline to a hysterectomy. And once you have the hysterectomy, that's the end of bringing life into the world. But it's not just that. Women go through more trauma. They think the pain is going to stop. Emotionally, their hormones are totally off balance. Their sexual energy is off balance then. So it's their up and down swings, their vaginal area becomes dry. So it's about the hormones are out of balance. So it's about really prevention first, coming off of the substance that creates it. Because there was a sister that had me to meet with her doctor, and the doctor was so candid. I said, well, why does she need to have a hysterectomy? She said, because she's in pain. I said, well, if I can help her get out of the pain, does she need to have menstrual pain that is chronic, bedridden? So I said, if I can help her get out of the pain, can she prevent having a hysterectomy? She said, absolutely. Well, she got out of the pain in 3 weeks. She took the herbs that I recommended. I have the wound care kit, and she got off of the dairy. Dairy is deadly. The dairy, the meat, the white flour products, the late night eating, the fried food, the junk, all of that, and her womb shifted, and the pain began to decrease. Now, I'll just so that you gotta get a gauge. If a sister's menstrual flow is 5, 6, 7 days, she's hemorrhaging, and that is normal, but it's not optimal. Most women are in pain every month. And when they're losing that blood, it's connected to their brain. They're losing their brain power. They're losing their emotional stability. So you will see a different personality because they're hemorrhaging, they're bleeding to death every month. Some are bedridden, some are functional, but they're still suffering in silence. And that could be fully changed because where is that? What is the first of all? What the medical establishment does not know what a fibroid is. So why are we taking out a woman's womb if you don't even know what it is? But I know what it is. I've learned that just by staying on this work for it's now 5 decades. A fibroid is simply congestion. And what is the congestion? Mucus. So just as you have mucus in your head from the dairy, the white flour products, you might have brain fog. If you have mucus in your nose, you might have sinus congestion. If you have mucus in your lungs, you might have asthma or bronchitis. If you have mucus in your uterus, you'll have a fibroid. So usually as above, so below, it's in the breast. Mucus is encased and actually suffocating the organs. So if you're suffocated, you're fighting for your life. You don't mean to be angry, you don't mean to be mean-spirited, but you're fighting for your life every month. And so to come off of everything that's going to cause the congestion, the mucus, then you starve the fibroid, and the fibroid now begins to die. And through detoxing, I take women through a detox, and it starts to drain out the congestion physically, mentally, emotionally, drains out of their systems vaginally. And so take a woman after a season of going through the rites of passage, which is to heal and detox and get back to nature, all that mucus and poison and congestion comes out vaginally. And as it's coming out, the menstrual flow is going from 7 days to next month to 5, the next month to 4, 3. So if her menstrual flow is 1, 2, or 3 days, she's out of harm's way. The tumor has shrunk. The emotions are balanced. And I'm glad you asked the question as a man, as a father, as a protector of our community, of the women,
Sure.
because she's impacting you and your health and your vitality. But she's not well. The family's not well. The woman is the Black woman is the primary healer of the home. So the primary healer of the home is suffering every month and hemorrhaging and stress. How can she keep the family holistically balanced and well? And actually, holistic responsibility is the woman, according to our ancestors. So we have a lot of healing to do as women. We have to go through a detox. And as soon as women start going through a detox, the men also begin to shift into their well-being. Because if a woman has a womb issue, a man, if he doesn't have a prostate issue, he's about to have one, erectile dysfunction, cancer of the prostate.
Well,
Those are things that are happening to our men simultaneously, quiet as it's kept, as that devastation is happening to the woman. So we have to heal together. My son has a book coming out. I want everybody to go ahead and pick that up. It's called Man Heal Thyself, The Journey to the Wellness Warrior. It's coming out in 27, but you get an advanced copy.
sure.
Supernova, Islam, he wrote that book, Man Heal Thyself. So as our men need to heal, the women need to heal. I would love to have a platform within the festival to talk about wellness, to focus in.
We can definitely do that, sis. We can definitely do that, Queen. That's why we have you on, because this is a vehicle of communication for the International African Arts Festival. All of the members who come, all of the people who come every year, the festival babies, we want to hear from you. We want to hear from our elders. We want to hear your stories. We want to hear what work you're doing. How can we advance you? How can we, spread the word? And it's really bringing the festival experience onto a digital platform where we can just exchange and talk and build,
You're the future, and you're doing a great job by doing this. And when I started getting into the digital world, my work completely shifted. I'm global now. So this is global. It's not in a box. It's not just, those in the community, but it's a global community. This is what you're doing. And I saw that in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I know that was a total shift. You went from 50 sisters taking sacred women down to 12. I said, uh-oh, Most High gave me a channel and said there's 100 kind trying to come through. And it was still, I ended up going right back to Claver Place and Fulton.
Wow.
That 100,
Brooklyn,
I'm saying that was 2016. And that's what y'all are doing. That's what I did with the young people around me. My son, Ali, Legacy Ali, with his right hand brother.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought the same. I'm looking at my future. I'm looking at my past and my future all at one time.
wow.
And that's what made me relevant. Because you put me into this group.
Happened because she's talking. I want people to miss this piece. She talked about how she came up in festival, how festival influenced her. She talked about her sons, her children also came up in festival. They also are now writing books because of their experience that they came from the first teacher and festival. I want people to see what the Queen just talked about. She talked about legacy. I'm a festival baby. Sakina's a festival baby. Queen Afua came up in festival. Iyanla, my mother, festival baby.
Amazing, your mama.
I want them to understand.
My mother, Tulani, came up in festival.
Oh, praises.
So
Mm-hmm.
I want people to understand festival is not somewhere where you just go and see people with vendors and people dancing and drumming on the stage. The Queen talked about a family reunion, different spiritual different tribes. Sakina talks about it all of the time, whether it's the Nation of Islam, Osiris Set, the Christian community, whether it's the Yorubas, right? Whether it's the Yoruba, whoever it is, festival was the meeting place. Legacy. Talk about why legacy is important, particular for our people.
If you don't have legacy, there's no growth. When as I'm hearing you, I'm thinking of legacy because I would go out there and I would see people that doing this work and I would see their children, I would see their grandchildren. I was in continuation. Everyone at the festival has a legacy. Whether they're conscious of it or not, they are walking legacy stewards. So if all these legacies come together, this is like, I see those who've been there for years and years. And I see the generations, like I'm seeing generations now as I'm looking at the two of you. That legacy is our power. You have to have something strong enough to pass down to your children's children's children. So my grandchildren grew up in this, as my children grew up in this. And we bring my mother out to the festival. Wow. She's an ancestor now. So it's a full circle, and the circle represents power. The name of the circle is Ra. And it represents sun, the light, the vitality. When we stay in circle, festival is a circle. You stay in that circle, you can grow. And we need new energy, young energy who with creativity in this now age to bring the festival even to the next generation.
Right.
So we don't die out. Legacy is life itself. Legacy is our economic power. When you have a legacy, you have to start from the beginning, all over. A legacy means that you have shoulders that you're on. And on them shoulders, we rise up from the shoulders of our ancestors. Baba Ishangi, Olatunji.
Baba Tunu.
You know, all the ancestors are in legacy with us now. Because they laid the foundation. Without that, we would not even be here. The legacy helps us to be strong, to be empowered, and to learn the lessons. Legacy gives us information.
Hey, come on, teach.
It's an informational bank. So if we can tap into our legacy of what our mothers, our fathers, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, our aunts, our uncles, what they left for us, it empowers. It's like going back to Kemet. It's a legacy of knowledge, right? And we're walking libraries. We're walking medicine. So,
like, share, subscribe, please. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, because this is the type of information that we need to have promoted widely and really vigorously in our community. We push all of the foolishness with Megan Thee Stallions and the Klay Thompsons and the Cardi B's. We push all of that foolishness and we spend a lot of time in that. But this information, this is life. This is not just talking words on the screen. Our view is if you take these words and you plant these seeds in your spirit and your soul and your heart, you can probably, not probably, you would take it further than the Queen has took it, further than where Jan has taken it, further than where Oprah has taken it. This is what that legacy piece means. When you take the baton that the elders passed you, and you take with your 440 speed or 430 speed, and you hit that track and you're gone, because you know what? There's some coming behind you that you got to pass it on to, right? So that's why this thing keeps going. We have to keep it going. I'm here because it was passed to me. Queen, Sakina, this is why we're doing it, and this is why this vehicle is so important. Follow us, share, like, subscribe. Every Thursday we're here with brand new episodes, feeding your spirit, feeding your hearts, and feeding your mind. So share it. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Make sure you know that we're right here. Notice.
Yes, we want to hear from you.
Yes.
Now, Queen,
Yes.
before we go, what was your favorite festival pastime? Like your best moment at festival that you remember, you'll always remember, and it stays warm to your heart.
Well, two things. Everything about festival. The drumming, the dancing, the wares, the art. I just walk around and my eyes just expand, just like, oh, the brilliancy of the colors and the garments. You just walk into a festival, you could get yourself set for the year. You know? I was set for the year. Festivals inside. Wherever I go, I have this, oh, I need that. I need that cloth. I need those earrings. I need that wrap. So it was like, that's how you leave it. You have draped yourself in festival some kind of way, and you're there for those days. The music always does it for me. I love our music, and it just opens my heart. But I remember two times. Remember my friend Queen Afua, I met her. She was dancing with Olatunji, and the women were extremely royal. I would say they were royal, and the drum was like 5 feet, 6 feet, and Olatunji was drumming drums of passion, and they were dancing with such African grace and majesty. And Queen Esther was the one that stood out for me. And when she came off stage, she wasn't just performing; she was living it. And she went past me. It was like a spirit went past me. And the way she was on stage was the same way. So it wasn't a performance alone that I would see. People were living the life.
Oh man.
Right? They were living the life. It wasn't you just going to a concert and when you come up, you have another personality and they're messing themselves up. So that was an impact to me. But then also there was a point where the festival had some of us to come and present. And I remember Susan Taylor, myself, and maybe 4 other people presented. And then that same Queen Esther, I saw her on stage dancing with Olatunji, Baba Olatunji. She saw me present. And at that point, I remember saying, they're stealing our wombs because we're unconscious. And when she heard me say they're stealing our wombs, she said, what in the world are you talking about? And we bonded because of what I said, and I bonded because of her dance, because I'm a dancer. And, all that came together. The information, the inspiration, festival is all that to me. And we must continue to keep it alive. And that's why I'm so happy that you're doing this. That's why I asked you in the beginning, how long have you been doing this? This is new. It's 9 months, it's so new. It's within a year. That's going to be the shift. And that's what festival needs, that energy to come in this generation. And so I'm happy to see it.
Just in case viewers don't know who Susan Taylor is, let me share with you about my mama Susan, right? I'm very close with her. I've known her for at least 30 years. Mama Susan is a former editor-in-chief, and she is the brain power behind Essence Magazine and Essence Festival that happens every year in New Orleans. Mama Susan Taylor, who just had some real tragedy in her family. Our hearts to her, our love to her. Mama Susan, if you're watching this, we love you. I've been reaching out to you, but I understand that you've been kind of tied up dealing with what you're dealing with, but you will hear from her soon. Yana sends her love to you also. But Mama Susan started and moved that Essence brand to where it is today. And what happened once she left, you guys see what Essence is today. It's not what it was when she was there.
Mm-hmm.
So just giving her flowers, it's important that we don't wait till our people make the transition before we start honoring them, right?
Mm-hmm.
As you see the Queen on right now, the Queen, she's our elder, has been just talking about doing this work for 50 years. This is almost like living at a time, if you were a slave when Harriet Tubman was freeing slaves, if you were dealing with civil rights while Rosa Parks was an activist, or what Betty Shabazz and Coretta Scott King. Like, this is the time that we're in when you have the blessings of receiving teachings like Queen Afua or Iana or some of the other sisters, because there's many sisters out there, but these sisters that I'm mentioning tonight, like Queen Afua, they put that work in and they dedicated their life to this work. They do nothing else but teach people this.
These are the revolutionaries.
Hey.
These are the revolutionaries that were a part of the Black Power movement that, were really coming up with solutions to the adversities of that time. The Uhuru Sasa was created out of the community control program. And they said, what, if we can't have community control in our public schools, then these families came together and said, we're pulling them out, and we're going to have our own independent school, and we're going to create our own independent curriculum. And we're going to call it Uhuru Sasa. It's going to be Pan-African inspired. And we are going to connect with other people who are struggling in the African diaspora across, the nation and across the diaspora, and we're going to connect, we're going to support each other. And that's where the international African portion comes from. This is the International African Art Festival, the experience of the Pan-Africanism across the globe, because our melanated people have had struggles in every facet of the earth. And so we are coming together. These revolutionaries said, okay, what's your strength? What's your strength? What's your strength? And how can we work together to support our community? So we had the school, they had the food co-op, which is where Queen Afua came in. And then they have the artists that come and do, different events every week. And after every week, it became every month, and then it became once a month, and then that became festival once a year. And festival would last for a 3 to 4 day period of time. And, we had vendors, we had artisans, we had craftsmen, we had artists, we had educators, we had dancers, we had drummers, we had, people from all facets of the diaspora came from worldwide, would come to festival, thousands of people to bend, to, do Black business and in the highest communal sense. And, we're in our 55th year, and here we are.
There's something important, right, that I want to jump into really quickly. You talked about international, and you said a word that we know what it means, but I don't want to take for granted that the viewer understands this word, especially our younger viewers, right? You talk about diaspora, right? Let me just break that down for our viewers, right? When we talk about the African diaspora, we're talking about every place on the planet, every place on the earth where our people are under the conditions that they are, under oppression, under extreme oppressive conditions, right? So when we talk about us here in America, we dress nice and we drive fancy cars, but don't get it twisted. We see what that president is doing every day in the White House, and he ain't doing nothing for us. I know that's Ebonics, but I had to keep it there. Second thing is, let's check out what's going on in South Africa right now. There's a big situation of what that's going on, as well as other African nations. What's going on in South America? What's going on right now? Venezuela, with the countries that's going on there. So these are
Cuba.
Cuba. These are African people that have been spread all over the world through the transatlantic slave trade. So
Mhm.
we refer to this as the diaspora. And our
Mhm.
job, and with our generation, and what we're doing here with Festival, is connecting the entire diaspora. Share your
Mhm.
story so you can understand. Like when Bungie Duma from South Africa was on, he talked about conditions in South Africa. When Baba Adeyemi and Professor Smalls are on, they talk about Black liberation and civil rights and what they experienced. So same thing, different places on the earth, Black
Mhm.
and oppressed. So I want you to understand, viewers, what diaspora means. It's not some word that's just esoteric out there in the ethos. It means something. It talks about us. It talks about our experience, and you really need to embrace that word.
Mhm.
See it, hear it, understand what it is, and they're talking about you.
Mhm. Yep. It's indigenous people, melanated indigenous people all over the world.
Shay,
That's the diaspora. Melanated indigenous people all over the world. And it's just a common denominator that those melanated indigenous people have experienced oppression through colonization. And so the Pan African experience is to acknowledge the connection between us indigenous melanated people from
Shay.
all over the world, and to come together to support each other, to support us economically, spiritually, mentally, physically, financially, artistically, and
That's the
to
Saba.
create
That's the
create
English.
the community. Exactly. So we took the our elders, our revolutionary elders, took
Shay.
the Nguzu Saba and applied it, literally applied it. So they had unity, they had self-determination, they had cooperative economics, they had creativity, they had faith, and they applied these principles to their everyday lives and created something so magnificent. What Queen was describing was her experience in going through her healing journey and seeing a resource
Shay.
of
Shay.
where she could, really be supported within her healing journey from the food supply that they were supplying, from a credible source. And that was her entry in. I think that is like phenomenal.
I'm
You
telling you.
know?
I mean, you
Mhm.
just see the impact of, and let's use me as an example. I told you earlier, I come from Bed-Stuy. Anybody that knows about Brooklyn knows about Bed-Stuy. The world knows about Bed-Stuy. I'm a product of that, right? Even spent a little time in God's vacation tree. That's what my mom's called it, because of my activities that I was doing in Bed-Stuy. And I'm only saying
Mhm.
to say that Festival was that catalyst that shifted my consciousness and awareness. Festival was that tool, that vehicle that showed me that I was much more than just a little guy walking around the hood with my hat tilted to the side with my pants sagging. It was more than just that. And it took me a minute to really grasp those concepts: diaspora, colonization, the first people, the original people, all these concepts, these Pan-African concepts. And when I got it, it was like, bam, somebody turned the light on. And the light has been on ever since. So just like the light has turned on for myself and Sakina and Queen Afua and other people, we want that light to turn on for everybody. This is why this podcast is so important and so intricate. It's not about promoting festivals so you can come and dance, and that's just only one part of it. We're talking about the life-giving information that comes out of this vehicle as a result of the International African Streets Festival. That's why this is important. Sakina, would you agree?
Of course. Of course. It's important because, one, we're continuing legacy.
Mm,
We're continuing. See, this vehicle is the evolution of their revolutionary acts. We're
hey,
now in a digital space.
that's right.
We're bringing the experience of what happens at festival, and we want to expose it and share these stories, share this history, share these experiences with people who've never been, who don't know anything about it. I mean, we experience something that is priceless as a gem right there in Brooklyn every year. And those who know, know. You know, they say there's something called for selected heads only. We've been selected. We just trying to put y'all on.
Y'all put
We
your
trying to put y'all on.
I say no
And
cap,
how
no cap. This is real. Let's make it happen. We get some
you
motion.
know what it is. You know, we just try to put y'all on as to the magic that we experience every year
Life saving.
During July 4th weekend.
And like I grew up there, my children are grown up there. Every year when you see me, you'll see me with my son Zamir. Shout out to my son Zamir. Matter of fact, there's a couple of people I want to shout out real quick. There's one guy who really, I'm working with him right now. He's showing me a lot about the political arena. His name is Joe Peoples Jr. Shout out to Joe Peoples Jr., who's running for District 6 in PG County, Maryland. He's doing really well. We're expecting him to win. But if you account District 6 and you're watching this, please cast your vote for Joe Peoples. Second of all, I know I did it earlier. I got to shout the board out. I have to shout the board out. We meet every time about festival, so you guys can understand this work that goes into festival. You may see us once a week on this platform, but it's an everyday thing that we are doing to bring you this information, to bring you this festival, to make sure that this legacy, as the Queen talked about, as my co-host Sakina talked about, continues on, and we're passing it on. We're just doing our job. We're doing what we respond. We're doing what those who came before us did for us.
Exactly.
And we want others, not just us. We want everybody to do that. Like the Queen talked about the economics in our community. She talked about our debates. She talked about the fact that our women are suffering and bleeding to death because of the condition of their minds, their hearts, and the food that they're eating. If that's not enough to get you to watch this every week, then send it to somebody else and let them watch every week.
Let's plug her retreat. We didn't even get to talk about it, but she's having a retreat, a 4-day retreat called Ascension Retreat and Expo. It's called Ascension. You can find more information about it at ascension.com. It's from August 13th through the 16th. So if you want to be in Queen's presence, if you want to heal thyself, you want to ascend spiritually, go to ascension.com. That's ASCENSION.com. Just wanted, because she did want to talk about that.
So Queen, I know you had to go, right? See that we're definitely pushing your event. We're standing with you. Matter of fact, we're going to be there. Except one of us will be there. Somebody's going to be there.
That's around our birthday, you know. That'll be like right before the 818 saga.
Birthday's on the same day, just in case you
y'all know we're really brother and sister.
We're a lion pride.
They don't know about the 818 exclusive massive
doing that right now.
We're not gonna that's private.
That's the star science. Yes, we study star science and astrology also. So for those people who are into that, we're going to get into that at some point, because also that's another tool and vehicle that's very important, and you can be able to use that to really make your life be what it is that you want it to be. So we're about up, Sakina. Our time is up.
I think we're done. So thank you all for coming on. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns, anything? No? All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. We honor you, and like, comment, subscribe, share. Let us know what you think. Holla at me. All right.
And we are here July 3rd through 5th. New venue, 55 years, the double nickel. Big up to all my Knicks fans, because you know I'm a Knicks fan too, right?
Go Knicks, go Knicks, go Knicks, go!
I've been waiting for this Knicks championship all of my life. You hear me? This is like
listen. I know my father is in the arena itself. I feel like all the people that were staging the building, bringing all the Egaloon in, I feel like there was one ancestor that was like, no.
Bro, Donald Trump salt up that game for us. You know what? We ain't even talk about that. We out of here. Got it.
Hey.